Hey guys, in this video we're going to be learning about comments and variables. But before we begin, how did you get the answer to the last question? For the next video, I want you to make a script that puts "Hello, I'm watching tutorials by script" into the output. The answer is print "Hello, I'm watching tutorials by script." It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Well, let's get started with the video. I think we should tackle comments first, since they're super easy. Basically, a comment is something that Roblox doesn't run when you play the game. Roblox basically ignores them. Comments are written like this. You put 2 dashes, and then you begin typing whatever you want. Developers use comments so they know what they're doing the next time they hop on Roblox Studio on their script. Also, developers use comments so if there are 2 scripters working on the same script, they can communicate with each other. Remember that you can write anything you want as a comment, and Roblox will completely ignore it. Watch this. Besides the print hello world statement, I'll add a comment using the 2 dashes. See? Roblox completely ignored what I added as the comment. Well, that's cool, but what if I wanted to make a comment that spans across multiple lines? How would I do that? Well, doing that is a little bit different. For that, you'd have to put 2 dashes and 2 brackets to show that you're trying to make a comment that's multiple lines long, like this. Now I can put whatever I want here. It'll span across multiple lines. Note that the comment will end after the 2 brackets that face the other way. So I can type print hello world after the comment ends. Notice that all the comments are color-coded gray for me. For you, it might be a little bit different, but this is something called syntax highlighting, and it's where certain parts of your code have different colors to make it easier to read. If your code wasn't colorful, then you'd have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out where your 2 dashes are able to find your comment. Okay, enough about comments. Let's learn about variables now. So variables. Do you remember them from your math class? Even if you haven't, it's fine. I'll teach it to you. Okay, so every single time I say the letter X, I want you to think of the number 0. I'll now ask you a question. Ready? I have X books. Did you get it? It should translate to I have 0 books. Because we said every time I say the letter X, you should think of 0, it makes sense that when I say I have X books, it should translate to I have 0 books. Let's try another. Assume that X equals 2 now. I have X phones. Yep, I have 2 phones. That's what it should translate to. Let's try something a bit more advanced now. Assume that X is equal to 3. My Pokemon Charizard has X plus 1 moves. What does it translate to? Did you get it? The answer is my Pokemon Charizard has 4 moves. Pretty easy, right? Let's try one that's a bit more difficult. For now, assume that X equals 10, Y equals 5, and Z equals 3. I have X plus Y minus Z plus Y marbles. Well, the answer is I have 17 marbles. Now let's learn how we can apply this in Roblox scripts. So what we learned is that we can substitute a certain letter, like the X, Y, and Z, into a different number and use that letter instead. Well, the X, Y, and Z are called variables, and we can do the same kind of things with scripts in Roblox. Following the examples we just learned, let's say X equals 0. This is what you would see in your math class. Now in Roblox, we put in a fancy word called local in front of it. So now it says local X equals 0. And that's how you define a variable. Let's do it on a script. Okay, so I'll delete the print hello world, and let's assume X equals 0. And remember, in Roblox, we put the fancy word local before the X, and voila, it's done. I can now do print X. Can you guess what the output will look like? And there it is, 0. We told Roblox that X equals 0. So now whenever it sees the letter X, it'll treat it as 0. Also, an important note is that the variable X doesn't have to be 1 character long. It can be as long as you want. For example, I can do local chicken equals 0, and it'll work the same way. But why would we ever use variables? Well, the first reason is because we're lazy. Programmers are lazy creatures. If x is a large number, like 10 billion, I'd rather just type print x than print 10 billion. The second reason is because if we're making a giant script and we want to change the number across all of our systems, we only have to change the value that our variable is equal to. Let's assume we made a game that has experience boosts and power-ups. Let's define our experience multiplier as 1. Before we do this though, I'd like to introduce you how you should use your variables. So let's assume I wanted to make a variable that shows the number of players that are in the game, and let's set the number to 6. You're probably thinking, local number of players that are in the game equals 6. Do you see the problem here? You have so many words that are all written in lowercase letters. How on earth are you supposed to read and type that out every single time you want to use the variable? Well, here's the solution. Instead of using number of players that are in the game, let's shorten it and capitalize the first letter of each word except for the first. This is the way that I personally prefer to script in, and it's called camel case. Do you see how neat it looks? It's called camel case because the capital C makes it look like a camel's hump. Kinda neat, right? One more thing. Variable names can't start with anything besides letters or an underscore. So always use letters. If you need to make it a number, use the alphabet representation of the number. So use variable names like 34, 46, 65. They have to start with a letter or an underscore. Let's resume back into our script. So we have an experience multiplier. I'll call it expmult. Local expmult equals 1. Later on in our game, we would multiply our players' experience that they gain after each battle by this variable. So if they beat a boss, they'd earn like 500 experience points, multiplied by the expmult variable. So later on, after a game is released, if you want to make a 2 times experience event multiplier, you just change this number to 2. Isn't it kind of smart? But if we didn't use variables, then it would look super messy, because you'd have a random number 1 there. It'd be like 500 times 1. If you left it like this, and you didn't work on the code for 6 months and come back, it looks so weird having the random number 1 there. That's why we use variables, so we can tell why certain numbers are there. By the way, if you aren't familiar with it already, in programming, we use the asterisk, which looks like a small star, to represent multiplication. You can find the asterisk on your keyboard by pressing Shift plus 8. We can't use X because it's a letter, and it would be treated like a variable. So in short, if you want to multiply 2 numbers, use the asterisk key. Variables can also represent other variables. Let's say local x equals 1 and local y equals x. What's the value of y? You guessed it, it's 1. If I do print y, it'll print 1. Well, that sums up the video on comments and variables. There's a lot more you can do with variables, but right now, this is just getting your feet wet in the vast oceans of scripting. For the next video, I want you to post an answer in the comments to this question. How do I make a variable that shows my current subscriber count? That's all. Thanks for watching.